Whether you're coding in the coffee shop or gaming with your PC or running the servers in the cloud, picking the right Linux distro can make or break your setup. So today let's break down Linux distros based on the real use case in the world. No fluff, just facts, let's go. In case that you are leaving Windows or Mac OS, but you don't want to deal with advanced setup or complicated process to set up your operation system as a Linux system, you can choose Ubuntu. Ubuntu is basically a default gateway when you are choosing Linux over Mac OS and Windows for the first time. Especially this distribution is good for YouTubers, for students, for creators, or anyone who just wants their workstation to work without any headache. And they don't want to deal with huge wikis and documentations like in Arch Linux. Ubuntu is the most popular Linux desktop in the world. It has a huge community, especially if you want to resolve your problem. You can check Stack Overflow or Ubuntu Ask, and there are already a lot of users that they can help you to fix your problem. It has also great support of the hardware out of the box. It delivers also predictable updates. It means that you can upgrade your system whenever the new updates are coming without worrying that your system will break. Ubuntu also has snap packages, and if you love them or if you hate them, they work. The stability of the Ubuntu is also good and predictable. For every 5 years, the LTS version will get all the security updates that you need for your system to run. And if you have Ubuntu Pro, it will be extended to the 10 years. The graphical user interface, you can use GNOME with Ubuntu, which gives you a polished view, and it's clean and looks kind of modern graphical user interface. If you want to do coding, Ubuntu also supports a lot of packages that can support you. You can run C++, C, Python, or you can run the environment like Visual Studio Code. Or in case that you are writing research papers, you can use LaTeX in the Ubuntu very easily. Especially for machine learning programming, or if you are programming robotic system, usually this kind of libraries they're running easily on Ubuntu without any problems. Of course, you need to take care that which version of the Ubuntu is compatible with your library that you're using, but mostly the community is already give you all the information that you want. So by the simple search, you can find it easily. So you use Ubuntu if you want to experience a smooth desktop environment like what you had in your Windows or Mac OS, and you don't want to spend too much time on config files or to customize your operation system. Especially if you are new to Linux, or if you want to edit videos or start coding, or you just want a system that takes care of the updates and drivers for you. Ubuntu is not the flashiest Linux distro. It's kind of the Toyota Camry in the Linux world, and it's reliable for most of the use case. But if you want to have more reliability, also some sort of familiarity like the Ubuntu, because you want to develop servers or backend, then the next option would be your option. The second option is Debian. Debian is backbone of several Linux distros, including Ubuntu itself. The latest Debian at the time of this video is Debian 12, or the code name is Bookworm. If you run a server and you're caring about the long-term stability and you want your system to have predictable behavior, then Debian would be your option for your server use cases. It's a rock-solid, stable Linux, which is perfect for the production environment, especially for the cloud system or for your server. And of course, no breakage. The another advantage of Debian is community-driven. It has minimal corporate interface into the system, so you can use it for free. For most of the use case for Debian, we can name containers or servers, or if you are developing the backend of your applications or your system that you want to run. Either it's a home server or it's a production server, Debian is running pretty stable, but with the drawback that you will not have the most recent drivers or most recent applications as a library in the Debian, since Debian updates are very conservative, since it prioritizes the stability over being the latest in Linux world. In case of privacy, there is no snap, no telemetry, and basically just Linux. Also, in the case of the network behavior, Debian has one of the most stable and predictable network behavior that you can find in the Linux world. But at the end, Debian doesn't really want to impress you. It quietly powers millions of systems, and never breaks a sweat. I would say it's not start friendly if you're not familiar with the Linux world, but if you're familiar with the terminal and how the Linux system is working, but still you don't care about the graphical user interface or customizing your operation system, Debian brings you all these conservative, reliable libraries that you can use and you can run your system without any issue. Speaking of the customizing operation system, let's talk about the Arch Linux as a third option. We can name Arch Linux as the power user's dream. Arch Linux in 2025 is still build it yourself for the developers or for the people who are curious to know exactly what their system is doing and they want to build it from the scratch. With Arch Linux, you are always up to date. You will have the latest kernel and latest packages in your system. And you don't need to wait until those packages get reliable before it releases to you. You can download them as soon as they're available. In case of documentation, ArchWiki is the most comprehensive Linux documentation source ever made. There are thousands of community packages that you can use in your Arch, including beta builds or any obscure software that are available. It has a minimal base, means that when you want to start from scratch, you can build your operation system in the way that you exactly want. You have basically control on almost everything in this Linux distribution. Even you can customize your bootloader to the desktop environment. Everything is under your control. So you use Arch Linux in case that you love to tweak your Linux. You're already advanced in the Linux world. And especially if you are comfortable with the terminal. Since you are using most of the project in the latest version, it could be the case that there are a lot of things breaks down. You need to take care about the compatibility of the variety of packages in your Linux distribution or in your Arch Linux. Basically in your Arch, you will break things, you will fix things, but at the end you will understand the Linux like never before and you become expert and the owner of your own customized Linux operation system. But in case you don't care about the customizability, but you care about the polished environment and graphical user interface for your development, for example, then the fourth option is Fedora for you. Fedora is basically when you combine the latest tech with professional polish together. It's a distro of the choice for the full-time developers, testers, and open source contributors who want a refined daily driver that stays modern. Fedora often includes the latest GNOME update features that are available. It has Flatpak by default instead of Snap, which is modern packaging system and lightweight, and also cleaner than Snap. It has also SE Linux security, which means that security enhancement Linux kernel, which is the advanced sandbox for the secure environments. It has also cloud native tools as a built-in feature, like Docker, Podman, Kubernetes, all feel native into this operation system. And Fedora is backed by Red Hat. So basically it has a solid infrastructure with a strong enterprise support. So if you write a code for a living, or if you want to contribute to the open source projects, or want a well-integrated desktop environment that keeps up with the upstream software, then Fedora could be a good option for you. Fedora is clean, smart, and always a few steps ahead. That could be a good motto for Fedora. But before we go for the fifth option, which is important for the gamers, let's talk about bonus options. For example, you want to feel professional and you decided to go to Arch, but you don't have time to go through the pain of the Arch Linux, the setup, the config, and so on and so forth. The more gentler way for this kind of gateway to go into the Arch environment would be Manjaro or EndeavourOS. It's basically Arch without the pain of the Arch. The another bonus option, which the backbone of it is Debian, is Kali Linux. If you know, you know what Kali Linux is. If you don't know, you don't know. Let's talk about the fifth option. The fifth option is Pop OS. If you are a gamer and coder both at the same time, this Linux distribution could be a good option for you. The Pop OS with the new Cosmic desktop environment is written in Rust and is developed by the company named System76. This distro is for gamers and multitaskers who want performance without terminal acrobatics. Pop OS has built-in NVIDIA support. It has a flawless GPU handling. For example, in Ubuntu, if you want to run NVIDIA graphic cards, you need to take care of installing the appropriate driver, especially if you want to train your machine learning algorithm. But in Pop! OS, to run your games, you don't need to deal with it. The desktop environment for the Pop! OS is responsive, it's modern, and it's built for multitasking and productivity. It's good especially for the multi-monitor setup. In case that your coding setup, it includes having several monitors. It is Ubuntu based, but it doesn't have a Snap. So it has all the Ubuntu goodness into it. In case that you want to install Steam or any gaming distributors softwares, you can use Pop! OS. So in general, if you don't want to configure anything in your Linux, but you want to use your Linux for the gaming and coding at the same time, or either of those, this could be a good option for you to think about. So to summarize things, this table basically shows what is the real world use case for each Linux distros that we talk about. You can pause the video to look into it and choose the one that fits your use case. If you're curious about to know which distro that you're already using, you can comment it down below. In case that you enjoy the content, please don't forget to hit the like button, ring a bell, and subscribe to the channel to not miss the next content. And remember, no matter the distro, keep hacking and enjoy your projects. Until the next video, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Bye.